What's going on, guys? Colin here with Red Beans and Dice, and today I'm going to be playing Dune Imperium, the solo version. So there's 3 difficulties that you can pick from when you play the solo version. There is going to be Novice, Veteran, and Expert. I will be doing Veteran difficulty. I will also be showing you the setup for Veteran difficulty so you guys can see how the board is going to look right before you play. And then also I have played the 2-player version of this game, which is a little bit different. If you have any questions about that, hit me up down in the comments below. I would love to help you out. So let's get the camera flipped around so you can see the board, and let's get into the setup for Dune Imperium, the solo version on Veteran difficulty. So every setup will begin with you picking a character out of the world of Dune. I went ahead and picked out Count Ilben Richus. I'm not sure if I said that right, but here we go. Here is him. He is grumpy looking. So over here we have some of his starting abilities. If he plays his Signet Ring, which is a card that he starts out with, he will go ahead and gain a Solari from that. And then whenever I pay a Solari to send one of my agents to a board space, I get to go ahead and gain a card. That is what that little symbol means right there. And I'll go through some of the different symbols that we see as we go along the way. And then also I just wanted to point out that if you ever get confused, you can flip this over, and it has a really nice breakdown of in the order of what you're supposed to do everything in here. So there is that. So I went ahead and picked out this character for me, and then we're going to be playing with AI rivals that are actually controlled through this House Hagal deck right over here. So for our first rival, I picked out Earl. Get off the roof, Earl. So he has a signet ability of gaining a spice. For the rivals, we will not pay attention to anything over here on the left. For our second rival, I went ahead and picked out Galassu Raban, the Beast. So over here, he has his signet ability to gain troops. He gains 2 if he has at least 1 faction alliance, so there is that. He's going to be more of a troop deployer, and those are our 2 rivals that we went ahead and picked out. Your starting deck is going to be composed of 10 cards, and they're going to be the same for each player if you're not playing the solo version. But anyway, we're going to be playing with 2 daggers, a signet ring, 2 Dune the Desert Planet, convincing arguments, and then reconnaissance and seek allies and diplomacy. These are going to be the same if you're playing a 4-player game, 3-player game, 2-player game. Anybody that is a human being is going to take the same starting deck of 10 cards. So there is that. You'll go ahead and just put that right over there. And then over here, like I said, we have the House Hagal deck, which is going to be controlling the AI, the rivals. So let's give an example here. If it is Earl's turn, we would go ahead and just find this spot on the board, which I'll show you here in a second. You would place one of his agents there. He would get 2 troops put onto that location, and that is that. These little bottom part is for when they're in combat. You'll actually draw one of these cards for them to modify their base attack. So these can be pretty dangerous. They range from, I think, 0 to about, what is it, like, I think I've seen one that's 5, maybe a 6 in there, but usually they don't get too much higher than that, with being 2, 3, and 4 the average of what they usually draw. But yeah, you'll go ahead and create your House Hagal deck. Since we are playing a solo version, as you can see here, we got a couple 1-player cards in the upper right-hand corner there, you can see. What I did is I went ahead and took out the 2-player cards that were in there. These are going to be for the 2-player version, and then you need to keep the 1-player versions in there if you're going to be playing for solo. If you have 3 players, you don't have a rival or an AI and everything, just you wouldn't be using this House Hagal deck. So make sure to give this a nice shuffle, and these cards will devastate you later on in the game. You and the rivals that you're playing with will each pick out a color, and you'll put one of your differently colored cubes right here at the bottom. And whenever you will play a card that will send them to here or there, you'll just go ahead and increase it by 1 accordingly, unless it says otherwise on the card. There's a couple of them, I believe, in the Imperium deck, which I'll get to a little later, which can make them jump up. Once you get to this, you'll gain a victory point, which will be tracked on the other side of the board, which I will show you later. Also, get your Solari, your Spice, and your water tokens out somewhere where you can grab them pretty easily. Over here, we have the conflict cards. So there are going to be level 1, level 2, and level 3 conflict cards. So these are going to be making up your conflict deck, which each turn you will draw one over, excuse me, and place it over here. They'll be stacked right here. You'll draw one there. And then just for an example, let's pick this one out. You'll flip it over. Whoever gets first on the combat will go ahead and get a victory point. Second will go ahead and get a water. And then when you're playing solo, the third doesn't usually get this, but there is a tiebreaker thing where, you know, if you both tie for first, you get second, and then say there was somebody that would get second, they would go ahead and get third. It's a little confusing, but that is how that works. But basically, what you're going to be doing is shuffling these up. And well, let's start out with the conflict 3, because the conflict 3 cards are going to be going on the bottom. For these, you're going to be putting, there's 4 of them, and you're always going to have 4 of them. But you're going to go ahead and shuffle them and put them right there on the bottom. And then the conflict level 2 cards will be going over here on top of the 3. So you're going to take these, shuffle them up, and then there is a bunch of these. There's going to be more than you need. So with these, you're just going to draw 5. So you'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's going to be excess. You're going to put those over to the side. You will not be grabbing those. So we'll take these level 2 conflict cards right there, put them right on top. And now that is going to be 4 on the bottom, 5 over there. There's 9. And we'll take these level 1 conflict cards, and you are just going to randomly grab one of these and put it right on top. And that is that. You have made your conflict deck. There's always going to be 10 in there. Sometimes the level 2s are going to be different, and then obviously you have a good variety of level 1s, but you're just going to have 1 on there. So when you're playing on veteran difficulty, your rivals are going to get their 3rd Sword Master agent guys on the 4th turn. So what I do, I'm not exactly sure if you're supposed to do this, but it helps me remember. I take 1, 2, 3, 4, and I pick them up just like that, and then I put these agents of the rivals right there, and then I put these right on top. So as that 4th card flips over, I go ahead and give them their agents, so they're going to be getting 3 agents, which are basically just turns instead of their normal 2 that they start out with. So you really kind of want to get your 3rd agent going by at least the 2nd or 3rd turn if you can, because they are going to be using those 3rd agents and going to town. Over here we have the combat part of the board. We have started out with 3 troops in each of the rival factions' garrison. So they are going to be moving into some of these places that have little swords on them in the bottom right hand corner, and once they do that, they actually have the ability to put troops into there. So each troop in there equals 2 points of combat, and then if they get one of these little red swords which they draw on the House Hagal, it can move them on up on the little point system, and then whoever scores the most points will get the reward that is on the conflict card. I haven't flipped that over yet, but we'll get to that soon. Up here I have my Sword Master, which I can get when I pay 8 Solari to the Sword Master spot here on the board. For the veteran difficulty, I put this up here. This is a 5 spot for the Solari. Normally it would be 2 if you're just playing a 2-player, 3-player, 4-player version, but for this it will cost me 5 Solari to go up here and get an extra card and gain the Mentat. I think that's how you pronounce that, Mentat. But the Mentat is just basically another agent. It gives you another action. So there is that. Up here we have the reserve cards, and these are all just piles of the exact same cards. So you will be able to purchase these at the end of your reveal phase when you have gone ahead and have enough persuasion to go ahead and purchase them. This one will cost 2, this one will cost 9. But as soon as you pick this one up over here, the Spice Must Flow, you will go ahead and get that reward right there, which is a victory point, which is absolutely huge. So this will be fold space. You'll have to gain that by going to the Spacing Guild, which is a faction here on the board. So these are just going to be remaining up here. You can always buy those with your persuasion if you have any left over. And then also over here we have the Imperium deck. We're going to go ahead and flip 5 of these. And then these will also be for purchase whenever you get done with your reveal phase and you have enough persuasion to buy them. So we'll go ahead and flip these over. Not a bad draw. So once you buy one of these, you will actually go ahead and pick it up, and then you will replace it immediately. So say I had 10 persuasion, I could go ahead and buy this guy. I would flip over the next one and say it was another 5 card, I could buy that one, or however many that I want, and you'll go ahead and put that onto your discard section. Over here, just for your viewing pleasures, we have the different difficulties and then some of the things that are going to be happening when you play on the different difficulties. So since we're doing veteran, we are not going to be starting with any extra resources except for the water that everyone is going to start with. I showed you that the Mentat is going to be costing 5 Solari instead of the normal 2. Our rivals are going to be starting with 3 troops, which I went ahead and placed on there. We put our agents for our enemies, our sword masters, or third agents, on in between the 4th and 5th card of the conflict deck, and then we are going to go ahead and deal out 1 intrigue card to each of our rivals. And then how are they going to be gaining victory points along with gaining influence to different factions? Well, we got that right over here. So 3 conflict cards, victory point. 3 water, victory point. 7 Solari and 7 spice, they're going to be gaining victory points. So they can accumulate these things as they go through the game, and if they gain so many of them, immediately you're going to be trading them in for victory points, and these can really add up if they get too many of the same. So that's going to be one way that the rivals can potentially give you a little run for your money. So there's that. Let's go ahead and flip over our conflict number 1 card and see what we got. So with this, if whoever wins first on this combat is going to be able to gain an influence whichever faction that they want and move their little token over here up 1, and they'll also gain a spice. Second place is going to get 2. So we'll go ahead and put that right down there. Over here we have the first player token, which is going to be going to the rival to the left of me, which will be the beast right over here. So he's going to get that, and then it will be passed clockwise. So it'll be going that way, so I will be going after Earl, and that is how that works. And then next turn, or next round, it'll be passed to Earl, and then I'll be going second. So that is how that's going to work. So up first is Rabban Galassu the Beast. So we'll go ahead and draw a House Hagal card for him. So this is going to be a Harvest Spice card. So send an agent to the space with the most spice bonus, or total if tied. If no spaces have bonus spice, reveal another card. So these are going to be the Harvest Spice locations right here, these 3 locations with the triangles on them. Right now, makers, the little worms, have not made any spice on them. That'll happen towards the end of the round. So we're going to take this card and just disregard it and put it to the side. So our second card that we drew for the beast is going to be Carthag. So he is going to gain a troop, which means he will put that directly, or well, first off, let's go ahead and grab his agent. We'll put it right where he is going to be going. It's going to match up, same. And then you'll look at this instead of looking at this over here. He doesn't gain that. He's going to go and just gain whatever is right here. And then say there was a requirement to move there, like over here you need 2 water. If he moved there, and the card told him to move there, he wouldn't have to pay the 2 water. They don't have to pay costs of moving to certain locations. So they cheat a little bit, but at the same time, their movements are randomized, so there is that. So with Carthag, we would go ahead and move his agent right up there. He is going to go ahead and gain a troop, which he will automatically put into combat because that is a combat location on the board. And then he will also put, whenever they have any troops in their garrison, they'll go ahead and drag 2 in. So right now he has 2 in there fighting for that influence and the spice. So that is going to be his turn. Next up, it's going to be going to Earl, and Earl will draw from House Hagal, and you know what? He drew Carthag, which is the same location that the beast is at, so we can't go ahead and put those agents on the same location, so we'll need to draw again. So for him, he's going to Arakin, which is right next door, so we'll take one of his agents, and we'll go ahead and put him right there. Now he is going to gain a troop, which he will go ahead and put right into battle immediately, and then he will drag 2 in also. And then that signet ring symbol right there means that his signet ability is going to trigger. So he has the Spice Horde ability, and that means we're just going to go ahead and put an extra spice right onto his playmat, and if he gets 7 of those, he's going to go ahead and get a victory point. So not good, not looking good so far. So we'll put that over, and then now it's going to be my turn. So I have my deck here. I'm going to go ahead and draw the top 5 cards off the top. I went ahead and shuffled these. So we'll draw these 5. We will flip them over and take a look at what we got. So, Okay, we got some cards that are going to be giving us the ability to go to different factions, which are always good. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play this Seek Allies. And then right here is the agent part. Whenever you send an agent to any one of these locations, you have to follow this. There is actually a very poorly silhouette of an agent right here on the left. So there is that. But I'm going to be taking my agent and I'm going to go put him onto the Emperor location right up here. And that is going to move me up 1 on the influence track, which I'm going to mark just like that. And then if you can see up over here, that means I'm going to get 2 Solari. So I'll go ahead and grab my 2 Solari and put it on my board. And then I'm trying to get up to 8 so then I can go over here and get my Sword Master. These guys have already contributed quite a bit of troops actually to that battle, so I may just let them hash it out. Sometimes it's kind of smart to lay back and let them just throw all their troops in and deplete it, and then next round there might be something a little more worth fighting for and you can jump in there with more troops. And then I have to trash this card as it says right here on the agent part, so I will put it just away from everything and not mix it back up in the deck there. Then it will be going back over to Galassu the Beast, Raban. So we'll draw a card for him, and he's going to take his last agent and go over to Selective Breeding, which is right over here. So we'll put that over there, and then all he does is gain an influence over here with the Bene Gesserit. He is red, so we'll move him up 1 just like that. And let me see if I can move this over a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. So I moved his little color token up 1. That is all you do for that card. You put it over in the discard. And then next we'll be drawing for Earl. We'll see what he's going to be doing. The Hall of Oratory, which is really bad. They just get 1 troop added to their garrison. It's going to be up here. It doesn't have the cross sword symbol to it, so he actually can't contribute this to the combat and then bring more troops in. So I am perfectly fine with that. We'll take his last agent and we'll put it right up here where it goes, and then he is going to be gaining a troop into his garrison that he cannot bring into battle quite yet. For my turn, I have these 4 cards left, and what I really actually wanted to do was spend my 1 water to go up here to get 2 Solari, because there is a Sel Melange location up here where you can trade your spice into Solari, and if I could get 2, I could go ahead and trade it in and get 6 Solari, and with the 2 I already gained from going to the Empire up here, I would have more than enough to go ahead and get my Swords Master, but you know what, I just don't have any cards with the little triangle symbol on it, so that's kind of out of the question for me. So, but I do have this bad boy, and then I could keep these for the Persuasion. I could have 5. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I will go ahead and play Diplomacy, which is a good card. I'll put it into my discard pile right over there. And I'm going to go ahead and move 1 of my agents down to the Still Suit right over here. Or actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and go to Hardy Warriors, which is right over there. I'm going to take my 1 water that I'll have to pay. So I'll take this, put it back into the resource pool, no cheating. I'll go up 1 on the track right here, and then I do have the ability to bring these 2 troops into battle, but you know what, I'm just going to stockpile them for possibly a better reward next time that I can just throw all my troops in and win when it becomes really important. So that's it. That's going to be the end for my second agent turn. The other rivals don't actually have any agents left, so it's going to come back to me, and I'm going to do a reveal phase. So once you're out of the agent phase, you're going to go ahead and do the reveal action. And I have 5 persuasion right here. So I can spend those on any of the cards from the Imperium deck right up here, which I'll show you. So up here, I have a couple different choices that I can choose from. And do you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick out this guy right here. Now I have to trash it once I use it, but I can gain 2 influence instead of 1 on any of those factions, which I think is going to be really cool. So right away, I'll go ahead and throw a card down and replace it. Just like that, and that is going to be it. So our player turns have ended. Now we're on to combat. I'm actually not into the combat, so I can't play any cards or anything like that. So we have 3 blue, which will equal 6 combat power. Each cube equals 2, each sword equals 1. So they're actually going to be tied. So we'll go ahead and move the red right over there. Now we're going to draw the House Hagal cards to modify their attack power, and we're going to be starting with the first player, which will be the beast, Galasu. So we'll draw for him. Ooh, and that's a good draw for him. So we'll move him up 5. So he's going to go from 6 to 11. So we'll put him right over there. And then next we will draw for Earl, and we will go ahead and he just gets 1. So he'll move up to 7, and then that is that. So now that combat has sufficiently been resolved, we're going to go ahead and give the rewards out. So Galasu will go ahead and gain an influence wherever he wants. So he has one location where, for the Bene Gesserit, where he is at 1. So you're going to pick for his lowest influence level on the faction that you would like. So he's tied for 3. So you know what? I'll go ahead and move him up over here on the Spacing Guild. So I'll move him up over there, and then he will also get 1 spice, which I'll put over on his sheet. And then as we can see down here, second place gets 2. So we'll put that right over there. And then these troops are going to go back away. Everything you put into the middle, once it's done, you'll go ahead and put it right back. So there will be that. Now we're going to be on to the makers, and the makers are going to be these little worms, which are right here on the board. So whenever you see one of those and you're going through the maker phase, if there's not an agent on that space, you're going to go ahead and do one of these, just like that. That's all that is, just putting a little spice right over there. All right, so that is going to be it. And we are going to go ahead and move all of the agents back to their appropriate locations. So put them right back onto the boards. And then the first player token, it was on Galasu. So we'll go ahead and move it over to Earl. And Earl will be going first, and then I will be going second next round. We'll move these little bad boys back. And that is a round of Dune. Not too bad, huh? Okay, so we've done the recall. We have moved everything back. We've done the makers. We're good to go. Everything's updated, and then the round will start, and we will go ahead and flip over another card. Okay, so we have a victory point to the winner, and then they'll be able to actually remove a card from their deck, and then second place will get a water and a spice. So this might be one that I want to actually put a couple troops into. We will see. I might be more interested in getting my Sword Master and going through. We'll go ahead and draw our 5 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 10, and I didn't draw any, so it'll be my last ones. Okay. All right. And then Earl is going to be going first, so let's draw a House Hagal card for him. And, oh, okay, so he is going to be harvesting that spice. So send an agent to the space with the most bonus spice or total spice if tied. If no spice, spaces have bonus spice available, reveal another card. So we do have spice on some of these. So he would go right here, and he would get 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be 4. You know what? Earl already has 3 on his player mat. So that is going to be 7. Whenever they get 7 spice or they get 7 Solari, that is going to be a victory point. So I'll shuffle this right over here. And Earl will be going up 1 point just like that. And then we'll take these 7 spice and just put them onto our player sheet and sheet. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to do that. So I'll put that over here. And that will be Earl's turn. And then also, excuse me, he went onto this location with a combat marker. So he is going to be able, he didn't gain any troops, but he will still be able to draw 2 from his garrison, which he will do every time into the combat zone. So he's going to go ahead and put 2 right into there. Next up, it's going to be my turn, and I have some cards here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use his Signet ability, and I'm going to go ahead and move my agent, his Signet ring, excuse me, and I'm going to go ahead and move that bad boy right over here, and I will grab this and that. And I'll go ahead and put those 2 spice down. And then I do have the ability to draw some troops in. You know what, I may just stick it out and just keep them, because my next turn I'm going to go ahead and move up to the Cell Melange and try to trade that spice in for some Solari, so I can go ahead and get my swordsmith. Let's see here. This is kind of a tough one. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to hold off. I'm just going to accumulate a bunch of troops and probably make the wrong move and die. So that's going to be my turn. Now it's on to Raban, Galassu the Beast. So we'll draw a House Hagal card for him. He is going to be going up to rally troops, and as you can see over here, he's going to be gaining 4 from this card. That is it. It's not going to be a combat location, so he is not going to be able to draw those into battle, but he'll go ahead and gain those 4 troops, and he'll put them into his garrison just like that. Next up is going to be Earl, so we will draw a card for him, and he will be going to Still Suits. So he will be going right over. Next up, we'll draw a card for Earl, so we drew Still Suits. So he will be placing an agent on that location. So we will put him right down over there, and he is simply just going to gain an influence with that faction. And then it is a combat location, so he will go ahead and draw some of his troops if he has any in the garrison, but unfortunately he does not, so he will not be able to draw any troops onto that location. So there is that. Next up will be me. I'll go ahead and play Dune, the desert planet, and put that into my discard pile, and I will send my agent all the way up to Cell Melange. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. So I'll go ahead and put my agent right on the location, and then as you can see, you can trade any amount of spice into Solari. So right now I have 2 Solari. I'm going to go ahead and trade that in for 6. I have 2 spice. I'm going to trade that in for 6 Solari. Go ahead and grab one of them big boys. And then as you remember, I have 2 from going to the wealth section of the Emperor. So that'll be 8. So next turn, I'll be going first, and I can go ahead and grab my Swordmaster, which will be absolutely amazing. So I traded in my Solari, or my spice for my Solari. I put my agent up there, and that will be my turn. Now we are on to Raban for his last turn, so we'll draw a card. And he is going to be going to Harvest Spice, so let's check it out. We have this location here that is the only one with spice left on it, so we'll go ahead and move him there. He is going to gain this plus the 2 right there. Put that right over onto his sheet. He has 4 total. And then it is a conflict area, or a combat area, so he will be able to draw 2 troops into the location. And that is going to be it for him. Now it will go back onto me. And you know what? I'm not in combat. You have to have at least 1 troop in combat for you to use these. And I just have a 1 point there to spend up on the Imperium card. So 1 persuasion point. So you know what? There's nothing up there that I want. So I'm going to put these in the discard. And we are going to call that a day. So next up, we will go ahead and draw the combat modifiers from the House Hagal for Earl. He's the first player. So he drew 2 right there. We're just looking at this bottom part. And then I should have moved these. They both have 2, so they would both be at 4. Earl is blue, and he drew the 2 modifier, the 2 extra swords. So that puts him up to 6. And then next, we are going to be drawing for Raban, and actually he drew 2, so that's going to be a tie. So whenever there's a tie, they actually don't get that. This actually worked out well for me, so they're both going to get 1 water, and they are both going to get 1 spice. So not a big deal with me. We'll go ahead and put 1 over there, 1 over there, and then they will each get a spice, or excuse me, a water also. There we go. All right, so that is going to be it for the combat phase. The next up is going to be the makers phase. So since there are agents on those locations, the makers are not going to go ahead and produce spice onto that. So we can skip that, and then we'll just bring everybody's agents back to their locations and go from there. Now the first player token is going to be going to me. Since I don't have any cards left in my deck, I just have my discard pile. I'll go ahead and shuffle these bad boys up. And then also I realized that I made a mistake. So whenever I use his Signet ability, which I did last turn, I believe, or the turn before, I'm supposed to gain a Solari, so I believe I forgot that. So I'll go ahead and put that in there. All right, and awesome. I am really happy that I drew this, because if I didn't draw this little green symbol right here, I couldn't go ahead and grab my third Sword Master. So I've drawn my card. The round is going to start. We will go ahead and flip over this. And then this little banner means that we'll go ahead and whoever wins this first place is going to put that banner onto Carthage, and they will go ahead and reap whatever reward it says from right down here. So I would put my banner right here, and then whenever me or another rival move there, I would go ahead and get one Solari added onto that. So that is how that little banner would work right there. Oh, and then also these troops would be gone. I forgot to, after combat, they just go right away, far away. So I'm up first. I got the little token there, and I am going to, let's see here. What can I do? I might, you know what, I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to play this. I'm going to use that card, discard it, and I will send my agent right up here to the Sword Master, and I will get my Sword Master, my third agent, and I have to pay 8 Solari for that, so I'm down to 1. Throw those right back over into the pile. And then also, part of my Count Ilbon is whenever you pay Solari for the cost of a board space, draw a card. So I did just play Solari for the cost of a board space, so I'll go over here and I will draw an extra card, which, that could be good. Who knows? Okay, so there's my deck. I've gone, and now we're going clockwise. So Raban will be going first. I got his face covered up with spice. Sorry about that, buddy. Sorry. Okay, so we'll draw a card from the House Hagal, and holy cow, okay, he's gonna rally troops. So we'll go ahead and put him right up onto the rally troops section right there. He's gonna gain 4 troops, but it's not a combat zone, so they just stay in his garrison, and these would also go back. I'm struggling here. Sorry about that. Next up, we'll draw a House Hagal card for Earl. So Harvest Spice. Right now, there is no spice out on the board. So if there's no spice out there, it says to draw another card. Okay, so he went ahead and drew Fold Space. So that'll just be this little location right up here, and we'll move him up 1 on the influence right there. And that'll be that. Next up is going to be my turn. And I got some options here. I really want to play that actually and gain 2 influence instead of 1. I'm going to play that card, and I'll have to, as it says, gain 2 influence instead of 1 and trash this. So I will go ahead and trash this, and I will put my guy, I'll put him right here. And I'm going to gain a water. So I'll grab that resource, put it on my little sheet, and then I will also go up 2. So I'll go 1, 2. Now I passed this victory point. That means I get it, so I'll take my little disc right here to track the victory points and move it up 1. Yay! And then this is a combat zone, so you know what? I'm going to move 2 of my troops right into there. And that is how that works. Next up, we have, it's gone back around to Raban, so we'll draw a card for him. And he is going to be going to Conspire, which is going to be all the way up there. And so he's going to get 2 troops. Once again, it's not a location that has the little cross swords on it, so he won't be able to add these troops into conflict. But dang, he is really loading up. So he has 2 more added to his total there. And then also he is going to gain an influence at that location. So that'll be it for his turn. Next up we have Earl. So we'll draw a card for Earl. It still suits. Guess what? I'm already there, Earl. You got to do something else, buddy. So he will go ahead and draw for this location right here. And let's see here, secrets. So he will take his cards, his agent, and go up to secrets, which is located right here. He will gain an influence, and that is all that he can do. Put that right over there, and then guess what? I have one more agent left. They don't have anybody in the battle. This is absolutely amazing. I can kind of just do whatever I want because I'm going to win it no matter what, because you have to have at least one troop in there to actually do something. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take this card right here. I'm going to go ahead and move my last agent right up into here. So that means I will discard this card and I'll put my agent right up here. Now he gets a troop that I can put directly into combat if I choose. I am not going to choose to do that. I will go over here, and then also this means I get to draw an intrigue card, which are absolutely amazing. Okay, it wasn't the best, but since it's during the player round and it's still technically my turn, I can go ahead and play this and gain 2 Solari. Sometimes these are usually a lot better. They help you out with conflict, or they can move you up influence, but hey, whatever. I'm going to use that right now and take 2 Solari and put it right onto my sheet. And the other rivals are actually out of cards, so it'll go right back around to me. And with my 4 persuasion, I went ahead and picked out this card. You got to put it directly onto your discard pile, which is kind of a bummer, but I like the ability to move to all these different locations, and then when I play it with an agent, it will let me draw a card, and then it will give me a persuasion point if I need it. So I'll put that right up there. And then I will draw a card to add to it, and a lot of things going on there, but yep, replace it right away with a different card. And that will be my reveal phase. All my extra cards that I used for persuasion or whatever will go actually down here. I don't have anything to adjust my modifier. If I had any of the little combat knives down here, I would add it onto that. So right now I'm looking at 4. That is going to be it. There's no other enemies, rivals in the conflict, so I'm going to go ahead and gain that victory point right there. And then I will also take this little banner and put it right onto, what is this, Carthage? Yep, put it right there. Awesome. So we've done combat. Now we are going on to the makers phase. So we'll go and put a spice right over onto here for each one of these locations without an agent. And that will be that. We'll go ahead and pass the first player token back to Raban. And then we will take all of our agents and move them back to the according player mat. And then I will lose these 2 troops permanently. Hopefully I get some more back. Move that over there. Grab Raban. And then this next turn, they will actually be gaining their 3rd agent. So there will be that. So I'll flip this over. This will be what we are fighting for this round. 1 victory point, and then Imperial Basin, your ability to put the banner over there, which is right here. Gain a spice whenever somebody moves there. So 2nd place gets some water, so on and so forth. And then I will just take these guys and put them directly onto their mat. They are now at full force with their Sword Master, their 3rd agent. So let's draw a card for the first player, Raban. See what he is doing. Okay, he is, oh, wow. Okay, so he is going to be gaining 3 troops to, let's put his agent right where he needs to be right there in Heightliner, excuse me. He's going to gain an influence, which is horrible because he actually goes up to a victory point. Then he is going to gain the 3 troops, which he puts directly into combat. That is a combat spot. And then he's going to draw from his massive supply 2 extra right in there. That was not exactly what I wanted to see there. So that was Raban's turn. Good turn, Raban. And next up, we're going to draw for Earl. And Earl is going to move his agent to Conspire, which is right up here. And he'll go up 1 right there. And then he's going to gain 2 troops, but he can't use them because it's not a combat location. So there's that. Next up, it'll be my turn, so I will draw 5 cards. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take this card, and I'm going to discard it, put it right over there. And I'm going to take one of my agents, and I'm going to spend a water to move right into there, and I will gain 2 troops, and I will put them into battle, and I will go up 1. I will gain this token, which actually gives me a victory point, and I keep this unless I get passed by anybody. Say somebody moves up to here, they'll actually take that away from me, which can be very devastating. And then as you can see right over here, as a reward for entering this location, I go ahead and gain an extra water, so I'll put that right there. And you know what, I'm not sure if I want to draw any more troops into there. He's got quite a bit. That extra victory point would be nice, but you know what, I'm just going to leave that as is, and we will go on to Raban's turn. So Raban is up next. We will go ahead and draw for him. He's going to be going to wealth. So I'll take that guy, go right up to wealth. We'll move him up 1. Oh no, and he got a victory point, so we'll move him up right there and put that over in the discard pile. Next up will be Earl. And Earl is going to be going to Arakeen, so that will be right over here. He's going to gain a troop, which he's going to put directly into battle. And then he will bring 2 more in. And then his signet ability is to gain a spice, so he is going to be spice girling it up, man. Okay, all right. Man, these guys are kicking my butt this round. Okay, so it'll be back onto me. I'm going to go ahead and go right here. I'm going to take my agent and move, since I have 2 influence with the Fremen, I can move right there. I am going to accumulate a, well, first off, I have a signet ability, which gives me an extra Solari, so better not forget that. And then I'm going to take the troop that I earned and put him directly into combat, and then I can bring 2 more in. So I will go ahead and move those guys in. I gain a water, so I'll put that right over there. And that is going to be it for my turn. And then next up, we're going to go over here to Raban, and we'll draw a card for him. He got Hall of Oratory, so we'll move him right up here. He's going to gain 1 troop to add to the battle. You know what? He is out of troops, so what I do sometimes is I take these discs and I use them as 5 spots. So we'll just use that as a 5 spot right there. So that'll be it for him, and he can't add any of those troops into battle because that is not a combat location. Next up, we will do Earl for his last thing, and oh man. All right, Earl's gonna make it hard on me. Okay, so he's gonna move right there, and he is gonna be adding a troop, and he'll put that right into battle. Okay, and then also he landed on this location that I have my little banner on that location, so I gain a Solari, which is good. We'll put that right over there, and then it's going to be on to me for the last turn, and I'm going to pay these 2 water and put that right over there. And I'm going to take my last agent and put him right here, and I'm going to get 4 spice. And then you know what? I have, let's see here. It's a combat zone, so I'm gonna go for broke. This may not be a great idea, but I am gonna go ahead and move all my guys in there. And I gotta put that in a discard. So we have all the agents done. I have these 2 cards right here. I don't see anything that I want to buy from the Imperium deck up there, but I will take this combat and add that on to whatever I have. So right now I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So I'll put my combat right up there. He has 10 for Raban, and then Earl has 8. So we will put Earl right there. Now, since Galasu is first, we will draw for him, and he gets the 1 sword added to that. So he will go up to 11. And then next we will draw for Earl, and perfect. Earl will go up to 9. Okay, so awesome. So we have our victory, our conflict card over here. So I got first with a score of 14. So I'm going to be gaining a victory point, and then I will also put my little banner onto Imperial Basin, which is perfectly fine with me. And then second place will be going to Raban, so he will gain 2 water, which isn't good either. As you can see up here, he's got 4. He's going to trade in 3, move up his victory points to 3 right there. And then there's nothing for third place, so sorry, Earl, you suck. And then we'll get these guys back out of there, put them back onto their mats. I'm going to take this away and just put 5 normal guys right there. And then, oh, I lost all these guys, Jesus. So that was that. Now we are going to load up on the spice. So let's see here. Put 1 there. And we'll put 1 there, and we're doing that because there is an agent here. Now we're going to go ahead and recall everybody. Now we're going to move the first player token to Earl. And for Earl's first card, he is going to be going to Arakeen, and he will be gaining a spice because of his signet ability. And then he will also be gaining a troop, which he will put right into battle. Then next up is going to be me. I'll draw my 5 cards. Show you what I got right here. Okay. Nothing too crazy. But you know what? I am going to... I'll take this guy, and I have a plan here. Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot to draw a new conflict card. So... we're going to be able to choose 2 influence for whoever gets first to any one of these factions, so that is definitely a good thing that we want to start shooting for. I'm going to go ahead and take this and move right over there, and I'm going to gain, I'm going to go ahead and gain the troop, which I will throw right into battle, and then I will gain a water. That is how that works. I'll put that into my discard pile. Then it will be onto Raban next. And he's going to draw Carthage. So he will move right to there. He will take 1 troop, enter it into the battle, and then throw 2 more from his garrison right into there. Next up will be Earl. So we'll take that and draw from there. And we will put him right into steel suits, so he will go ahead and gain an influence right there and go up on the victory point timeline. Let's see here, I'm going to play this card. I got a sneaky little plan. I'm going to move this agent to right over here because it doesn't cost any water, and I'm going to get the same. So I would get 1, 2, 3, 4 total spice. And then unfortunately, I don't have any combat troops that I can throw into there, but I do have a plan. Oh, and also I will get to draw a card because of this. So I don't have any in my deck, so I'll have to shuffle up my discard real fast. I drew that bad boy, so awesome. And then next up, we will go around to Raban. And he is going to be moving right here and grabbing 1, 2, 3, 4 spice. And then you remember, if they get 7, they get a victory point. So let's see if I can just throw these everywhere. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so red will go up 1. And then he is also going to drag 2 of his troops into there. So there is that. Next up is Earl. He will go. He's going to Arakeen. So that location is already actually taken up by him. So we will draw another card for him. Carthage is already taken up. Yep. And, oh, and also, I don't think I grabbed this. He went onto a location that I own, so I'll take a Solari. I can't remember. If I already grabbed that, let me know if I'm cheating. So let's see if he can go. Oh my God. Okay, so he keeps drawing these cards where he's already been. Okay, finally, thank God. Okay, selective breeding, that will be right over here. He's gonna move up 1. That will gain him a victory point. Put that into the discard pile. Yeah, for this, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna play diplomacy, and I'm gonna take my last agent, and I'm gonna move them. Let's see here. I'm gonna move them right here. Move them up 1, and then I will get an intrigue card. And this one's pretty interesting. I can do this whenever to pay 1 water and a spice and then draw 3 cards. So I'm actually going to hold on that until next turn. Last but not least, we have Raban, so we will draw for him. And he is going to be going right up to there, and he'll be gaining a troop and not doing much after that. I probably should have thrown a couple more troops into here if I could have, but you know, that's how it works sometimes. So, all right, so I'm on to my reveal phase. We don't have any more agents anywhere. So I have 3, and you know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and buy this card right here because it allows me to go to a couple different factions. So I'll put that onto my discard, throw these into there. I have 1 extra combat, so I will be up at 3. Blue will be at 2, Raban will be at 10. So we will draw for combat now. And Earl the blue is going to be going, and he drew 4. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Next up, we will draw for Glossu, and he drew nothing. So I need those to be reversed. But anyway, so Glossu went ahead and won, so he is going to move up his lowest influence, so he'll move there, and then there. He's actually kicking some butt, okay. And then 1 water and 2 Solari to Earl. So Earl is going to take 3 water and turn it into a victory point, so he'll go up and get tied with me for 4. That right over there. And then we'll do our makers phase. So right now, this is the only location that doesn't have a maker on it. And we will recall everybody back to their homes. The first player token will go over to me. All of these troops are lost. Put them back where they belong. These will all go back to 0. And then I will draw 5 cards. Oh, and throw 1 down. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Eesh. That's not good. Okay, so let me see here. I will actually go ahead and move. I'll go ahead and use this card and move one of my agents right up here. And then I forgot again to draw one of these. And then you get the Mentat for first place, a conflict card, and 2 Solari. So, that's not the best, but you know what? I'll go ahead and move right up into here. And then since I played that card, I get to draw a card for this card for using it as my agent ability. And then I'll also get to draw a card for right there. And then I get a troop. And I will... You know, I'll throw that in. I'll throw that in and see what happens. So I will go ahead and get to draw 2 cards. There's the first one that I drew. I need to shuffle my deck real fast. Okay, and then the second one that I drew looks like a good one. Okay, so got to draw 2 cards there. I should have, 6? Okay, perfect, not cheating. And that'll be it for my first player turn. Next up, we will do Raban. and he will be going right over here, and he will be taking 4 spice. And he's almost got another victory point, and he's going to be adding 2 onto there. Next up, we have Earl, and Earl will be going over to Wealth right there, and he's going to be gaining a victory point. They're smoking me, man. Oh, and then it'll be back onto me. I'm going to take this card right here, and I'll discard it. And that will allow me to go over here, move up 1, and join my friends. And then I will also get a conflict card. Okay, in combat, when you win a conflict, gain influence or pay 2 spice to gain 2 influence. Okay, that's not bad. And that'll be it for my turn. Next up, we will have, let's see here. We got Raban. Okay, so there is no spice out, so we will draw another card. He is going to be going to Secrets. Oh, that's already taken, so we'll have to draw another one. Hall of Oratory, so we'll move him right up there. He's going to gain a troop into his garrison. Next up, we'll do Earl. We got a Harvest Spice. There's no spice out. Next card, we have Rally Troops. So Earl will gain 4 troops and send his guy right up here. And then next up will be me, my last agent. I will go ahead and use my signet ring. Agent, and I will put him right over here. And that will give me an extra troop to add to the battle. Since I use my signet ring, I also get a Solari, and then I will also get a conflict card. So let's see what I drew. Okay, that is not bad. We'll see, I might be able to use that this turn. All right, so next up we are on to Raban, and he is going to draw fold space. So we'll go ahead and put him right over here. Move him up 1. Next up will be Earl, and he is going to be going to Hardy Warriors. Okay, so he has 2 that he'll accumulate, put right in, and then he'll drag 2 more in, which is not good for anybody. That right over there. And then now it is going to be on to our conflict phase, or our combat phase. So over here, blue, Earl is going to have 8. We are both going to be having 4, and then I believe I am up first to act, and then I can pass and see what these guys are going to draw, I believe. So Raban is going to just go hard in the paint with, what is that, 6? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then Earl is going to be going rallying troops, and then 3, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3. Just go up by a smidge, and you know what, I don't want any part of this, so yep, you know what, I'm not going to do anything. So first place is going to be going to Earl, so he is going to go ahead and get 2 Solari. Put that right over onto his space. He is also going to get a conflict, or an intrigue card, excuse me. He's got 2 of them now. And then he will also get the Mentat for next turn, which means he gets an extra round of action. So there is that. And then next up we have Raban. He came in second, so he is going to get 2 Solari. And he is going to get an intrigue card also. So they are doing real good this round. So go ahead and move these guys right back over there, lonely me. And you know what? I did have the reveal phase. I did have 4. Let's see if there's something in here we can get. Nothing I really want. So I would have added 5 onto that, but it still wouldn't have been enough. So that is that. We'll put those over there. And then we will put our makers down for each of the locations where there is not a agent. And then we will clean up all of our agents, put them back where they belong. Then we will move the first player token right over here. We will draw our new conflict card. First up, we'll draw for Raban. See where he's going. He is going to be going to Still Suits, where he will gain an influence and gain a victory point. Boo. And then he will also, because it's a fighting location, draw in 2 troops. Next up, we'll draw for Earl. And he is going to be going to this location right here and gaining 3 spice. So let's see here. He's going to gain 3, so I'm going to take these 3 and just give him a big old 5 spot right like that. He's almost up to an extra victory point, which is not good. Next up will be my turn. So I'm going to use this right here. And I am going to move my agent right up here, which gives me an influence. That's going to cost me 6 spice, which is really expensive, but you know what? I've been hoarding this stuff away for a special moment. So there's 6 spice. Go ahead and grab that. I am going to gain 2 water. And I will also gain 5 troops, which I can actually throw into battle right now. And you know what? I'm going to do it. So there will be that. I got to discard this card right here. And that will be it for my turn. And then next up we have Raban. So let's draw a card for him. He's going to go to Conspire. So he'll move right up there, move up 1, and then he will also gain 2 troops, as it says right here, into his garrison. Next up we have Earl. So Earl will go to Selective Breeding, beep, and go right up there. And that'll be it for Earl. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and play this card right here. And I'm going to move my agent right over here. And then I'm going to be able to draw a card and an intrigue card. So I'll draw my intrigue card first. That's a really good one. That might actually win me the game. And then I will need to shuffle to draw my card. And I drew that. Pretty worthless, but hey, whatever. And then also I will get a troop from putting that over there. And I will just drag that directly into battle. And then I do gain a Solari because I own that location. Put that right over there. And that will be it for me. We'll go over to Raban, and he will be going to Fold Space. So I'll move him right over there, and oh no, okay, he's going to be taking that, which means he actually goes up. Not good, not good at all. We are going to be going on to Earl next, and we will draw for Earl. Oh, lucky for me, I went ahead and I'm already there. He will go there. There is already somebody there. Still Suits. Oh, I think I put, this was supposed to be Earl's agent, so I am sorry about that. So he was supposed to put the agent right there, and then I must be getting out of it. But anyway, got Still Suits, so there's somebody right there. So let's draw another card for him. And we drew Secrets. Okay, so Earl is going to be going to Secrets, and he'll be moving up and gaining the victory point from that. We'll put it in his little play area. That is it for his turn. It is going to be next on to me. Yeah, I'll go ahead and play this card. I'll put this guy right over here. He's going to get 1, 2, 3. And then I don't have any troops in my garrison, so I can't really bring anybody in there, but I feel pretty comfortable with this combat. So next up, we will go around. Raban doesn't have anybody If you remember, Earl actually won the Mentat from last time, so he is actually going to get to go again. And that should be gone, excuse me. So Earl drew the Harvest Space. There is no Spice out, so we are going to draw another card. He is going to draw the Arakin, so he will put his Mentat right up there. He's going to gain a Spice from his Signet ability. So we'll put that right over there. And bad news for me, he actually has 7. So we'll trade that in right away, move this guy up 1, and then he will be able to add a troop directly into combat. And then he actually has 2. He's going to move in right down there. So now we'll get rid of that. We will go on to our reveal phase. For me, I have 3 persuasions, so you know what, there's not too much I want to buy, so I'm not going to use that, but I do have an extra combat here. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, plus the 1 here, so that's going to be 13. Earl has, let's see here, 6, and then Raban somehow only has 4. So Raban is up first, so we'll draw for his modifier. He's going to add 1, so he'll go right up to there. Next up will be Earl, and he's going to draw the null right there. So he is actually going to come into second place. So he is going to get an intrigue card, which will give him 3, which is not good. That'll be a victory point for Earl. Boop. And then he will also get 3 spice. So yikes, these guys are doing really good. But, however, I was going to play this, and when you win a conflict card, I should have played this earlier, that's my bad. But when it looked like I was going to win. So I'm going to pay 2 spice and gain 2 influence to any faction that I choose. So I will get rid of that. And I will discard that. So, well, first off, let's give me 2 victory points since I won. And then I will control Carthage, which I already do. And then let's see here. 2 influence. I believe it has to be on the same location. So I will go ahead and move right up there. And that will gain me another victory point. So go me, I'm finally doing something with my life. That'll be that. We'll put these back here. And everybody's troops are dead. And then there is 1 location with no agent on it. And then we'll clean up everybody's agent, put them right back where they belong. Put the Mentat back, he was lonely. Okay. And then we're going to move the first player token onto Earl. And we are getting close here, the first person to 10. Wow, that'll be a big move there. So, go ahead and draw for Earl first. He is the first player. So he will be going to Carthage, and he will be gaining a troop, which he will pull directly into combat. And then also I get a coin for that. Next up will be my turn. I will draw my 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got some good stuff, some good stuff. Oh, and I'm sorry, I keep forgetting, but we'll draw this conflict card right here. Going to go ahead and I'm going to take this and put it right over there. And I'm going to put my agent, pay the 2 water, and gain the 4 spice, which is accumulated right over here. Put that right onto there. Unfortunately, I don't have any troops to draw onto here. I really want to get that. I'm going to try to go up there for the headliner and see what happens with that. So that will be the end of my turn right there. And then we're going to be going back up to Raban. And he's going to be going to Conspire. So we will put Raban right up here and Conspire. He's going to gain 2 troops, but not be able to bring him into battle Oh God, and he got the victory, the big token here, so that's not good. He's moving up with us, and that'll be it for Raban. Next we have Earl, so he's going to draw Arakin. I always have trouble pronouncing that, but he will go ahead and put that right over there. He gains a troop and also a spice right off the bat from his signet ring ability. And he's going to take that troop and bring it right in. He doesn't have any excess, so there is that. Next up is going to be me. And let's see what me can do. Thank God I drew this card because, yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to play this. I'm going to pay the 6 spice that I need to go up to the fold space. And I'm going to put this into my discard ability. And I'm going to put the agent right up there. I'm going to gain 2 water, which is absolutely amazing. And I will gain 5 troops. This will go up 1. That'll put me at 9. And then also I will get the 5 troops, which I will just throw right into there. I need to win this quickly, so let's see here. You know what? I am going to shuffle these up and add them to my deck because I am going to be playing this right here. I'm going to use that right now while it's still my turn. So I'm going to pay a spice and a water, and I'm going to draw 3 cards. I'll have to take these 2, and then I'll shuffle these up that were in my discard. Put them right over there, grab them, and then this will be my new deck. Okay. That's awesome. Okay, cool. I got this again. So, ooh, the spice must flow will be 3 less this turn. That could be 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I still might be a little short, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's not my turn. So we're going on to Raban. We'll draw for him. Going to Carthage. We already have somebody at that location. We'll draw another card. Rally troops, a little scary, but he doesn't get to add those to his to the combat this turn, so he's just loading up. And then we will go on to Earl over here and draw for him. He is going to be going to Still Suits. So let's see here. Boom. He's going to move up 1, but won't gain any victory points. So there is that. And then we'll put that over there. And next up will be me. I'm going to pay the water for this location. And I'm going to move right into there. And put that over there. And then this will be discarded. And I am going to add those 2 troops just directly into there, and yep, that is my turn. And then last up we have Raban over there. He is going to do the Harvest Spice. There's no spice out. We have Selective Breeding. Let's see where that is. Okay, Selective Breeding. Okay, that's not bad. He's just going to move up 1 right there. And that will be it for the player's turn. Now I'm going to be going into my reveal phase. Let's see here. 4, 5, 4. Yeah, I don't have anything. I could get a spice must flow for 6, but you know what? I only have 4 persuasion, so I'm just going to call it good, and we are going to go directly into the combat. So this character has, let's see here, 4. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And then, you know what? I have this to bump it up to 15. And then I will also play this because I feel that the end game might be triggered by me going up there, so I'll move it up to 3. And then since Earl is first, we will draw a combat card for him. Nothing added onto their bonus. So I will go ahead and get the 2 victory points right here. And then Earl will get a conflict card, or an intrigue card, excuse me, I keep getting these mixed up. He will also get 2 spice, which is very lucky for me because he has, what is that, 6. One more would have given him an experience point. And yep, that is that. I mean, even if he, well, excuse me, let's say he doesn't get the intrigue card, he probably wants the 3 Solari, because once he gets those 3 Solari, he can go ahead and he has 7, and then 7 Solari gets him a victory point. So I'll take these, put it right over there, and he will go up 1, and that is combat. So now we're going to do the makers. We have 2 locations, and put that right over there. And then also I would get Arcane. I would put my little banner right up on that location. And then let's check here. All right, so we've done this. We've returned all the players, everything back. And then right here it says check for in-game. And you know what? I got up to 11, so I came back and got him. So wow, that was pretty epic. That was a long solo scenario, veteran difficulty for Dune Imperium. I had such a good time playing, you guys. I wasn't sure I was going to win there. We had quite a bit of troops amassing here, and they were gaining victory points pretty quickly, but we pulled it out. Thank you so much for watching my video. This is Colin with Red Beans and Dice. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys later.